I remember the last time I went in there. I remember you walk in, somebody pours some like radiator fluid on your shoes, and somebody slaps you across the face and throws you a Twinkie and says, "Get out of here!
Get out of here!
That's the way it used to be here.
What do I owe you? Get out of here! What? Okay, thank you."
This is the podcast. If you've never tuned in before, this is the podcast where Tom and I, we pick a snack, we eat a snack, we rate a snack. That's the PER system, copyrighted, trademarked throughout the universe in perpetuity.
So don't even.
Don't even. And by the way, we've discussed this before. Not for us, for you, for your safety.
For you, Chad. It's Chad. If you're there and you're like, "Oh, I'm going to get in on this. This is a great system." You've lost already. Are you just you're a guy taking a step onto the hey, take the Titanic. It's the greatest ocean liner ever. Right. That's what you're doing. Like you're just, hey, look, come right up. The steerage, come on up. Choice tickets, 3 remain. And you're like, Chad's like, yeah, whoa, Mike and Dumb per system, steerage. Let's go. That's me.
Yep.
It's not
coming
you, Chad.
Through. It's coming through.
Yep. It's not you. Hey, I feel technology, if you had like technology back then, and they had the greatest technology in the world back then,
they didn't have technology back then.
Right. And so
they didn't invent technology until I think the 30s.
Oh, I thought it was the war. I thought the war was the advancement of technology.
Well, there were many wars. Which war do you mean?
Well, the Indio-China war. What war do you mean?
Oh, yeah. I wasn't referring to wars. You brought up wars. I brought up the 30s as the time when technology was invented.
I think it was the war.
Yeah, you might be right.
You know what's funny is it's the Great War.
Oh, it was the greatest. It was the greatest of wars.
Michael, there were guys who were like, you seen our war? Mm-hmm. And then this war came along, and they were like, Charlie, do you want to show them your war? No, it's okay, Midge. Charlie, show them your war out back. Show them your war out back. No, Midge.
They don't want to see it. They don't care about my war.
They don't need to see. There's a bunch of the boys from down the street went to the Great War, and they don't need to see this war. Like, Charlie, you were so proud of that war.
You worked so hard on this war, Charlie.
Charlie, this war was your best war. This war was better than 1912, Charlie. And Charlie's
it's a great war, Charlie.
It's a great war, sure. It's not the Great War. And that's where they left it. On Mates, anyway, don't get involved in the PER system. It's our system. And like Michael says, we're saving you a whole tranche of headaches if you don't try and like abscond with our system, because our system is
or the best case scenario for what's going to happen if you start mucking about in the PER system. You'll be praying for headaches if your experience mirrors anything like some of these previous jerks who have tried it out. Just do yourself you'll be praying for death if you try this thing out without the proper training, without the degree, without the safety regulations, without all this stuff. You'll be praying for death, buddy.
Yeah. Imagine this, I was going to say the swipe of the scythe, and then like bounce down the steps, and it rolls at the feet of the guard, and you see the head, and it's your head. Right? That's what you're getting into. Your head, thump, 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 thud, thud, thud down the steps, roll, stop at the feet. Your head.
Right. So you're simultaneously looking down at your own head while also looking up at your headless body.
As the words came out of my mouth, I'm like, this is interesting. And you caught it right away. I think maybe that's why we do this podcast, because I'm like,
that's why we can do the PER system safely. Yes.
Because the person watching their own head is up there where the head came off, and that's the point of view, probably, right? The camera, thunk. And then that person is like, that's not great. But at the same time, that's their own head. So their eyeballs are in their head, dunk, falls at the feet. It should be looking up at the guard, and the guard looking down at them. And yet I see it as sort of like an ND, objective perspective, where thunk. right? And they fall down at the foot of the thing. Maybe it's a Y. Maybe we're just pulled back on a 50. Maybe it's just that. But I like the idea of like right away.
Can
you're
we
like,
get both? Can we at least get both and just decide in
we don't have time,
which way we're going to go?
Michael, we don't have time. It gets
Are
dark
we
at
losing
4:30.
light already? I mean, I find myself, I'm fighting the light constantly here.
I gotta like this. Look at all the people watching. I gotta get the sight.
Right.
I gotta get the head. I gotta get the close up. Thunk, 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 thunk. Right. I gotta get the Y. I gotta get the guard's feet for sure. I gotta get a head rolling. I got a lot of things to do. I know we have 2 hours. We don't have time to get both. We gotta decide what we're doing. We gotta decide.
Right.
All right. So folks, don't mess with the perk system.
That's all.
That's what Mike was trying to say.
It's a simple request, and it's for your own good. It's not for us. Yes, we'll sue you. Yes, you will get a cease and desist. Yes, you will end up bankrupted if you try it. But that's not the primary reason why we're telling you not to do it. It's for your own safety, kid. It's for your own safety.
It's for your own safety, Chad. You know what we think is maybe we should just put one of those little small print things, and then we don't have to do this every time out.
I know.
Our producers.
You'd think we would have learned after decades and decades. You'd think we would just have the small print.
Nah,
and we got a snack today, buddy.
Boy,
ooh, we got a snack. I'll tell you. I'll tell you why. There's a lot going on with this snack. First of all, you know the term loose nuke, right? You know what a loose nuke is, don't you, Tom?
Yeah, sure. It's you in English class.
I know you know. And for the people who don't know, I'm gonna tell them a loose nuke is when you're a nuclear capable country. You've got an arsenal of nuclear weapons, and you lose one of them. You know, one of them just kind of disappears, and you're like, "Where'd that nuke go?" And you go, "I guess it's on the loose." You got yourself a classic loose nuke problem, not a noose Luke problem. That was James Franco's character in that Coen Brothers movie when he's getting hung. That's a noose Luke. This is a loose nuke.
Yeah, and that's what it is.
The reason it was a loose nuke, in my case, was because you remember this, Tom, we've been trying to do this snack for weeks. And I keep misplacing it.
Yeah, there was
because I've been going back and forth to the city.
Up there. Yeah, go ahead.
And I've been bringing my snack box back and forth.
Yes,
and I thought I had lost this snack. No, it turns out I found it. Here it is in my hand, just off screen.
This snack, you'll love this, Magic. This snack on my part has traveled from New York City up to Nova Scotia, where we're filming, to Providence, doing some filming, to Washington Dulles, to Toronto, to Ottawa, back to New York City. That this snack has done that giant cycle because this snack is up for adventure, and this snack can travel with you. I remember we were up in Halifax. I'm like, "Can you do it?" And you're like, "I can't do it." We were in the middle of a tornado. Remember that giant storm up there in Nova Scotia, and you were like, "We can't do this one." So now the viewer might be like, "Oh, I remember this one." Now you got to go in the catalog and see if they can remember it. But what's lovely is not only is this snack up for adventure, but it can withstand the toil and the vagaries of travel. It can. This is a.
In some ways, I feel like this snack is designed for that. It's designed for travel.
Sure,
it wants to be on the move.
Now, in all fairness, I'll bring this up when we talk about what the snack is, and I see no better time, Michael, than right now to divulge what our snack of the day is. Snack of the week is Chomps. Beef, grass-fed, and finished beef stick. Original beef stick.
I'm going to chomp on you. Don't chomp on me. Chomp on Chomp.
Hey, Chomps, what's interesting about this, and this is what I wanted to say earlier, is like the faithful mateys, whether they're viewers or not, and back then we're pretty sure they weren't, but who knows, will recall that very, very, very early on, we were like, all right, we're doing a snack podcast. I feel like it was top 5. We're like, well, let's do Slim Jims. Like right out of the gate,
obviously.
we're like, well, that's a snack. And once again, we've come full circle to this because it's exactly as you said, Magic. It's this snack is a snack that travels. This is like a put it in your pocket snack. This snack went through like 6 airports to get here today. And none the worse for wear. It's like, whatever, dude. Put me in a suitcase, put it in your coat pocket. I'm Chomps.
Yeah. Have Chomps, will travel. That's basically their attitude. I like it. Now, here's a little wrinkle in today's episode, Tommy. I don't even know if you know this about me, because we're rarely in the same place at the same time, and we're rarely sharing meals at this point. But about 2 years ago, just about 2 years ago, I became a vegetarian. So for me to eat a Chomps beef stick, by God, I feel like I'm entering Tom Cavanaugh olive/avocado territory. Now, it's not going to make me sick. It's not going to cause an allergic reaction.
You don't know that.
But am I going against the grain for the sake of snacking? You bet I am.
Yeah. And that's the kind of guy you are. Like, I put my life on the line a couple of times, and you're like, yeah, I'm a vegan, but not today. Not during this hour of mates, I'm not, because the snack world
I never
calls
said
for
vegan. I never said vegan. I said vegetarian.
Right. It's the same thing. It's not the same thing. I'm joking.
No, it's
not
the same thing.
I know, folks.
Come on.
I know. Here's the thing. I knew that you'd become a vegetarian. And honestly, like, I know this. I don't mean this disparaging. I think I'm reflecting my own perhaps willpower or my own journey onto yours. But I knew that you'd become a vegetarian. And I thought to myself, cool, that won't last. And I figured by now you'd be well out of it. And once again, I think I'm projecting my own thing, because I did that too. I think we've discussed this.
Do it?
I did it before it was cool to do it. No offense to you and your brethren, but I did it. I want to say in the 90s, I did it. I was like, I'm going to go. Yeah, no, nobody did it back then. You were just a freak.
You're the first. If it was in the 90s, you would have been among the first vegetarians who ever lived.
There were some in Colorado when I did it, but largely, and everybody was like, "What? What?" Because that's what happens when you're a trailblazer. And I was like, you know what I'm going to do for philosophical reasons, for health reasons, I'm gonna take meat out of the diet. And people were like.
I probably couldn't stop laughing.
Get a load of this fucker here. They were like that. They were like, he's gonna take me to. And then I gotta tell you, there was like full ballrooms of people just like,
I can imagine.
They were like, say it again. There were signs like, say what you're gonna do. And I was like, I'm gonna try for a philosophical and healthy. I'm gonna take meat out of the diet. Oh shit! This guy, it was a whole. They were like,
oh man, I can only imagine.
We're only going to do 30 seconds of weather today, Brent, because we have a surprise for the viewer tonight on the 6 o'clock. We have Tom Cavanaugh here, and Tom, tell us what you're doing. I just thought for philosophical and health reasons, I take meat out of the diet.
Oh, they must have loved you.
No, I don't think. For a while, that's what I thought. For a good month or two there, I was like, the people are behind this. And then it felt like there was a mocking element. It felt like there was what a jerk. He thinks he's better than us. He's so stupid.
Do you think the what a jerk sentiment came from the vegetarianism or from everything else?
I think it was people feeling that they were being judged and that their habits were not as highfalutin as my habits. I think there was a lot of that.
How long did this period of your life last?
Isn't this great? So I lasted 6 months.
All right.
I feel like I've discussed this on the podcast, so I don't want to get crazy into it. But yeah, I went 6 months. I ate a lot of chickpeas and hummus, and I made vegetarian lasagna, and I made all the kind of stuff. And there's a couple of things. You at your age, you're in your 70s, 80s, and you look great. You probably notice like a health benefit. And I feel like when you're in your 20s, you're like, I don't know. I can eat, oil change and still look great. Still feel great. You know what I mean? And so I was like, I don't know what this is doing. And then the thing that broke me,
you said philosophical and what was the other reason? Philosophical, it was
health
ethical?
benefits.
Health benefits. All right. So the health benefits you felt like you weren't seeing. And the philosophical benefits, you didn't care about.
Me,
you stopped
I'm working
caring.
on it every day. I'm playing hoops. It's like, I don't know, like this doesn't, you need to fuel up and you need to get it was harder. It felt like you were always trying to get, I was always trying to get my allotment of protein. Right. And so I'm like, and back when I was doing it, there wasn't all like, here's all the protein powder and the thing and the whey and this and that. And like, here's your protein bar. Here's all that stuff was on its way. And so I felt like, I'm working really hard to get my allotment of protein. And I wasn't, I'm sure you're more committed with the philosophical and ethical side of things. I was like, I'm going to try this. It was more of that. It was like, I'll try it. And I did it. And I did it for me, a long time, half a year. And the thing that broke me, probably easy, but to guess, but cheeseburger. I was like, I'm having a cheeseburger. And that was it.
Yeah. Haven't had a cheeseburger in 2 years. And I don't really feel like I'm missing them.
Interesting.
No, not really. Now I will cop to having had a little bit of meat over these last 2 years. I haven't been entirely strict, but almost none. And certainly almost no beef. I think I've maybe put beef in my mouth maybe once in the past 2 years. So, for me to sacrifice everything, and when I say everything, I mean everything, to indulge in this Chomps today for the sake of a goddamn snack podcast, I think is a testament to my fortitude, my strength, and more than anything, and I really want to emphasize this because I think it's important, my bravery.
Yeah.
So brave.
That's interesting. I was wondering if you're going to get there because that was the first thing I thought. I thought, like, once again,
I wanted to end with it.
Yeah,
I think it's the
most
bravery. I think that's what's going to stick with people as they listen to this episode, as they're murmuring to themselves, "My God, is he brave?"
That's smart.
And if
that's
I
wise
can,
on your part.
if I can inspire even a single viewer, and again, I don't know whether the viewers through my own selflessness, through my own tirelessness and advocacy, I'm going to get to bravery. Through my own bravery. Intelligence, I feel like. And the fact that I'm able to do this with a sense of humor, I think makes it a doubly impactful. And then you combine that with my bravery and somebody I think is going to bravery. And I think somebody is going to walk away from this podcast today feeling pretty good about me. So I'm opening up the package. I already found a surprise. Did you open yours yet?
I am opening it right now.
Do you see the surprise that I found? You open it up, and on the inside of the label, so the Chomps comes in like a red and white label. It's about a foot long, but now maybe 8 inches, 10 inches, something like that. And then so you unpeel it, and right inside, it's like when you open the cap of a Snapple, and there's a little message inside. There's messaging on the inside of the wrapper, and I'm going to read what mine says, and I wonder if yours says something different. It says, sometimes being in the dark place makes your eyes adjust so you can help yourself out. #Chompions. What the fuck does that mean?
This is great because yours says that, which is...
Yeah, what does yours say?
Be in the dark. Mine says, made without milk, egg, fish, crustacean, shellfish, tree nuts, wheat, peanuts, soybean, and sesame. So they're like, stuff kills you because you're allergic to stuff.
That's on the inside? That's on the...
Inside.
Huh.
Inside of the top wrapper. Oh, you went big on the opening. Maybe if I... Oh, yeah. Okay, so I got
you got a fortune message in there, right?
If at first you don't succeed, chomp again. #Chompions.
That's what they went with? That's what they went with? If at first you don't succeed, chomp again?
If you're going to say, throw, like, I'm going to tell you your business there, people over at Chomps, but if you're going to write the words of at first you don't succeed, your next line has to be skydiving is not for you. #Chompions.
Can you just help me unpack what this means? Sometimes being in the dark place makes your eyes adjust so you can help yourself out. So it sounds like what they're saying is sometimes when you're feeling existential dread and depression, sometimes your eyes adjust and then you help yourself out
more clearly because you can see more clearly.
I guess so. I just take an SSRI, you know? I just take a
that's what you do, but you're brave. Yeah. You're
Yes,
brave. You're like, all right.
Thank you for
So
acknowledging
what's interesting about that is it could also just be, I don't know how deep they are over there, Chomps. It could be a thing where they're like, sometimes when you're dark, if you wait a second, you can actually see a little bit better after the lights go out. It might just be simple as that. Yeah. They're just writing it out literally.
That's the way our eyes work, Chomps.
Yeah, but they're writing that out and you're interpreting it in this, you're using it as a metaphor and interpreting it in this larger fashion. Maybe they're like, oh, I didn't even think of that. It could be.
Right. It's possible. And that's what's so great about art. It's open to interpretation.
Yeah, that's right. And here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to save you. I'm going to go in there. Now, remember, for those people, those mateys that haven't seen that episode, and what are you doing if you haven't? There's an episode where we do guacamole, and I almost died because I'm allergic to avocado, and I didn't tell anyone. I just ate it and almost died, and it was a very big scene. I did not, knowing that it was going to be a life or death thing, but good for ratings. Mm-hmm. I didn't consume the whole avocado, as you might recall. So I urge you to, like you're a vegetarian and you can probably get a good sense of what you're doing with a little nibble. And so maybe that's all you're doing today. And I'm doing the big chomp. So here's a chomp. No,
I'm going to do a chomp. I mean, I got to play it straight. They're calling it chomps. I got to chomp the damn thing.
I'm chomping.
Don't call it chomps. And then, I can't nibble at chomps. All right. So you're chomping. I'm going to let Tom chew a little bit. Now I'll just describe it. It's a meat stick. It's about 8 to 10 inches. It's a little paler than a Slim Jim, which to me is the gold standard when it comes to meat sticks. Mm-hmm. I've always liked a Slim Jim. I like that they've figured out what to do with all the scrapple on the slaughterhouse floor. They turned it into a delicious tube of scrapple and spices. Last episode or a few episodes ago, I don't know when it was now, but we did Mary's on crackers, organic super seed classic crackers, and they got the seasoning all wrong. The thing that makes the Slim Jim work is the seasoning. They do great. Mm-hmm. Tom, what are your first impressions here of the chomps while I chomp my own?
On Mary's, the thing that was intensely aggravating for a snack guy like myself was included in the ingredients was salt, pepper, and spices. And Mary's evinced none of the salt, pepper, and spices. And I was like, if you're going to have it in your ingredients, double down on those ingredients. And you know what that'll give you? Taste. In fairness to Mary's, we had this conversation a week ago, and in fairness to Mary's, I went downstairs and threw some cheese on the cracker, and it was much better. My first impression of are you all right? My first impression of the chomp.
I don't like it.
So my first impression of the chomp is colored by my road trips, my myriad cross-country road trips in the truck there with Alessio, just driving around and driving on the back roads across America. And we got the Slim Jims. And I am like, oh, I guess that's what I'm used to. Because I took a bite of this, a chomp of this sucker, and it's healthy. Again, I want to reiterate, made with milk, egg, fish, crustacean, shellfish, tree nuts, wheat, peanuts, soybean, sesame. It's organic, right? I'm right. It's organic. It's grass-fed and finished beef, original beef stick. I don't know if it's organic. All stick without the ick. 10 grams of protein, 100 calories, 0 sugar. But also then already not a low-calorie snack. So we're like, hey, we're hedging our bets. And there's a deadness to it. There's a
What would you use? Deadness?
Yeah, a certain dullness halfway through.
That's the perfect word to describe my exact experience. It dies in your mouth about halfway through. And you suddenly feel like you're eating a corpse. Now, granted, it's made out of beef, and so you are in fact eating a corpse. But there's something about it that you're exactly right. You get about halfway through, and you're like, wait, what just happened? What just happened to this thing? Suddenly, it's very dry. It's almost mealy. It tastes the way I imagine my cat food tastes like. It's got there's like a pate quality to it that just betrays to me what a meat stick ought to be. And again, I'm using Slim Jim as my measuring stick.
This is the problem, I think, for anybody that comes forth with like, hey, let's get into this game. Slim Jims, I mean, look, you're getting where are you getting your meat sticks? Gas station, right? Like,
of course,
that's where you're getting them. And so anything you procure at a gas station is like, come on. If you're like, well, what are the ingredients and how much, the cashier's
you're missing the point.
Go on, man. Go on. Like, come on.
You're missing the forest. You're surrounded by trees. You're going, this tree, that tree. Well, where's the forest? You're in it, buddy. You're in it.
You're in the forest,
buddy. You're missing the forest for the trees if you're asking what the ingredients are at a gas station snack.
Yeah, and that's the problem right there, right? Like, so once again, like, all right, so the Slim Jims is not the healthiest, but flavorful. And also, I got it at a gas station. There is some protein. All right, win-win, right? And so I feel like Chomps is like, hey, we got the healthy version, grass-fed, original, and everyone's like, what about taste? That's the thing that's going to keep you coming back for a meat stick. And it's going to be the taste because, come on, buddy, we're at a gas station. Hey, by the way, you used to live in the wilds, then you moved to the blue state of Georgia, then you came back to the wilds. Mm-hmm. Have you driven into the city and you drive in and there's that gas station by the big tree, which looks like a giant tree, but isn't the tree? It's like it's a
cell phone tower. Yeah.
Cell phone tower. Right. But they made it look like a tree. And so have you been in that one recently? That would used to be a gas station, just used to be like Slim Jims and all that stuff. Right.
Yeah. I haven't been in it recently since the remodel.
You're going to lose your mind.
I bet I will.
You're going to lose your mind because it is. I bring it up only because we're talking about gas station health snacks. Like they have the healthiest array of snacks. They have like procured food. They have like homemade stuff. It's just like they're standing there when you walk in. How can we help you? You're like, what? Because you don't walk into a gas station and have someone might be behind the counter, but there's no people standing arms crossed like this, like, like arms in front of you.
Did they have an actual greeter at the gas station?
They have more than one, Michael.
Whoa.
And not only that,
I remember the last time I went in there. I remember you walk in, somebody pours some like radiator fluid on your shoes, and somebody slaps you across the face and throws you a Twinkie and says, "Get out of here!
Get out of here!"
That's the way it used to be.
What do I owe you? Get out of here! What? Okay, thank you. like you walk in. I gotta pee. Before you can hang that left to the bathroom. And by the way, the bathroom was awful. Now the bathroom was like black and gleaming. It's like you can hardly. It's like one of those nightclub bathrooms. You can hardly see the sink. Everything's black in there, and it's dark. Yeah, you're like, what is happening?
Do they have like a plunge pool or anything in there, or a sauna or anything like that?
There's water. There's a waterfall.
Wow.
Yeah, no, I know. You go in there, you're like, I guess I'm going to be late for the thing in the city. And I got held up in traffic. You can Google me. I'm at the thing. I'm at the gas station. Everyone's like, oh, gas station. Because like you say, it used to be. You walk in there, you got to go to the bathroom, right? You pull in, you're going to get your Slim Jim, you pull in, and then they're like, oh, whoa. They have the radar field, and you're like, hey, what the, ow, and then, get out of here. Now that was, in fairness, solid experience, right? Like a solid, like you walked out of there going like, ow, okay, Twinkie. All right. You're like, okay.
You walk out, your jaw's busted up, but you got your Twinkie. You're eating gingerly. The car's full of gas. You're ready to go on. And you go, well, at least it was an experience.
Yes. And they, it wasn't like they didn't like you. They were just like, we're a gas station on the Merit. Get out of here. So nowadays, though, you walk in, hands crossed, hello, sir. How can we help you? And when you check out, are you checking out at the counter like every other gas station? You'd think, but no. They just take your items, they like, dude, and then you're gone. There's pay
self-checkout thing. Oh, is that the thing where you just put the things down on the thing and then it says, this is how much we're charging you, and then you just take it? Oh, I like that.
Yes.
I like that technology.
And they're smiling beside you in case you can't figure it out because you've never seen such incredibleness. They're just smiling beside you. So, I mean, that place, I bet is, I'm going to check next time I go, is probably got Chomps. They're probably like, all right,
ceiling.
Well, they got a Chomp stand, right? A Chomps wall, right? But a gas station to me, Magic, ultimately, a gas station is a gas station is a gas station. And I'm gonna Slim Jim it, right? Because it's a meat stick wrapped in plastic.
That's the thing. If you're going to get into this game, if you're going to get into the meat stick game, You have to beat the competition. Chomps, I'm sorry, one bite in, and I'm not taking another one.
No, sir.
You can't do it. And then it says here, and this is really what's killing him, you know? It says all the stick without the ick. I got to be honest. It was mostly ick for me. It was almost entirely ick, particularly when I got about halfway through. Now, Amaya and I were having a conversation before you jumped on, Tommy. And that conversation was this. She said, and she was somewhat disappointed in her tone. It was clear. She said, "Oh, you guys haven't really liked the last few snacks." And I could tell what she was thinking. She was like, "And man, oh man, like if these guys keep playing it straight like this,
a font of
some
negativity.
of the viewers." Right. Some of these viewers, and she didn't say whether or not they were viewers, are maybe going to think, these guys don't like anything. They don't like anything. I had to remind her that it was only a couple episodes ago where we had the green olives stuffed with garlic that you thought might even kill you. You ate them. You liked them. So it's not a font of negativity here. We're just playing it straight.
You gotta play it straight.
As we're rounding the corner, third heading home, I can tell you already, we're going to start the ratings. You know, I know, everybody knows this thing is not going to get a good rating.
Nope.
But we got to play it straight.
Ratings. Hey, now listen, I want you to start.
I'm going to start just because.
But here's what I want to say about you starting. What I'd hope for, and I don't think it's any surprise that Amaya is going to be going like, these jerks, because once again, but we gotta play it straight. We gotta play it straight. What I will say is this: I was kind of hoping that Chomps would be the best meat stick ever to come along, and then watch the conundrum you had with like, I don't eat meat. Now that would have been a better television show, I think. Here's the guy, and he's got the high stakes. He's like, I don't do this, and now it's like, yeah, but look at this seductress. Right. And then watching you have to go through and see how much the meat stick you consume. Chomps took that out of your hands. But anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
You and I both were hoping that was going to be the case. I wanted nothing more than to be faced with an ethical quandary. Do I stick with my vegetarianism or do I go for this delicious meat stick? And you and I both know I cannot control myself when it comes to snacking. It was that meat stick was going to win. And I would have justified it in my head. I would have been like, it doesn't count. It's on the Snag podcast. I haven't broken any rules that I have. Like those calories, they don't accumulate. It's a snack podcast. That would have been great. There would have been tension. There would have been an emotional arc. There might have even have been tears from one or both of us. But then I take my first bite of all the stick without the ick, and that fantasy goes right the hell out the window because it was all ick. I don't know what kind of beef they're using. I understand it's grass-fed. I understand it's a cow, but it tastes to me like maybe they threw a little bit of squirrel in there because that is not beef as far as I'm concerned. It's not good. It's too pale. It was a little bit it almost like had a bologna texture or something to it. Like I just did not enjoy this Chomps beef stick at all. The spices were not terrible, but they weren't enough to overcome the shittiness of the beef stick experience itself. Chomps, grass-fed and finished beef stick, all stick without the it too.
Whoa. Well, that. Whoa, wow. Okay. Well,
I wanted to spit it out. I would have spit it out if I had napkin. I would have spit it out.
I got you. I hear you.
Sorry.
Well, would you spit it out? You would spit it out because of the vegetarianism, not because you weren't going to consume a meat stick. No?
No.
You're just like, this is no good.
If I'm playing it straight, if I'm playing it straight and I'm eating a snack, I don't care what the snack is, it's going down the gullet. This one, I thought, I don't know that I can swallow this. It's too gross.
Okay. So, okay. Well, I commend you on breaking your 2-year fast for the podcast. And I know that there were some dalliances along the way, but this was, you had to directly
I'm only
confront.
Human. I slip. I'm only human.
Yeah. Aren't we all? Like, put more time between your mistakes. That's my mantra, right? Aren't we all human? And so here's the thing. Both of us, the overarching mandate for us play it straight. We got to play it straight. But I know when both of us decide on Chomps, we're like, oh, good. Because, on the podcast, it's like, we know some things are going to be a long shot, but some things are just things that we like in capital letters, hashtag things we like. And we like a good meat stick. And what I will say, while I sally forth on this rating is simply this, folks. It's a click away. Go to our Slim Jims episode. Back then, I think we came out of the gate with stuff like we liked, like Cheetos and, Slim Jims. And then I think maybe the problem was the opposite of what Amaya has signaled, was like, maybe we should do some snacks that we don't love, and then the snack thing we got hugely popular, and then everyone started sending us stuff. And then it was like, all right, now we're forced to do Kroger's Jelly Bellies and whatever the heck. And so that evened out the field and then the great snack aisle of life presented us with a myriad of choices. And so we never know what we're going to get, but we can say when we get into an arena where we have been ventured forth before, we can definitely say, all right, well, the meat stick arena is a home field for us. And we enjoy that very much. And we know that this is going to be solid. And so I think both of us taking the first chomp out of the Chomps beef stick, I was, oh, really? I took a chomp bite, a big chomp of it, and then, like I said, it was like it's meat stick, but it was like very clearly on. It became like, this is not the meat stick that you think it is. And then you have to play it straight. You tried your best to like text out the texture and the feel and the flavor and all that kind of stuff. And like I said, while I was doing that, while I was trying to evaluate, a dullness seeped in, just a flat it just kind of flatlined. And like I said to you, like, oh, it's just kind of dead. And you enjoyed that description. And I enjoyed that description because it just felt like, yeah, when you're, the very least you need to do when you're having a meat stick and you're on a road trip is like, I want the next bite and the next bite and the next bite. And I wish I had 8 of these. And if you did have 8, you might consume 8, right? Because it's
Tom,
a road trip.
I'm going to interrupt you for a second. I got to interrupt you for a second. It's the first time in the long and storied history of this podcast that I feel like a snack died in my mouth while I was consuming it. It's the very first time that's happened, and it was alarming.
Yeah, I found the same kind of thing. If there had been like a thought bubble, like, what's going on here? Oh, what am I consuming? Oh, it doesn't feel right. And I think, and it pains me to say it, Chomps is coming in here with good intentions. Clearly, they're like grass-fed, we're going to get rid of all the ick. We're putting some cool sayings on the inside. We're the new meat stick. I can see them congratulating themselves. We're the new thing. We're the healthy thing. We're the new thing. And you can get it at a gas station. And that's where they tripped up. If you can get it at the gas station, it's maybe not all those other things, right? You want to go to Whole Foods with your meat stick, but at Whole Foods, people aren't picking out meat sticks. So you've got like your own conundrum, like be what you are. Right. And so I'm going to give Chomps grass-fed beef stick. I'm going to give them points because of a couple of things. One, they're trying. 2, it is a meat stick, but ultimately it's not the thing that we're looking for. Like if you're a meat stick, be a meat stick, be a meat stick. Chomps, original beef stick 4.
See you next week.
See ya next week.